Thank you, Kevin. This is a co-production with Independence Live, and this is another edition of KILTR Rising, which is our series of live interviews with some of the most respected activists and politicians from around the globe. We're joined today by Dr. Anand, who is a whistleblower on the ever kind of evolving case of the Vyapam scam in India at the moment. Good afternoon or good evening, Dr. Anand. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining me. I'm going to run straight into questions for you. Coverage of the Vyapam scam is obviously building in momentum at the moment. Can you tell me how you became involved in it? Also, why you felt compelled to distribute information about it, and do you feel unsafe as a result? I mean, so many people have died over there in suspicious circumstances. This must be something that concerns you. As I read that you're under armed guard, is that correct?
Yes, it's correct actually. In 2005, actually, when I appeared in the pre-PG entrance exam, actually that is MD/MS entrance exam. Actually, most of the toppers were from influential family, but their academic record was quite poor. I felt something fishy was going on and decided to raise this issue. I always had a doubt on the credential of Dr. Jagdish Sagar, one of the men accused of Vyapam scam actually, and so I just used to keep a close watch on him. In 2007, when we were in a party, I got hold of his suitcase. As I opened it, I saw PMT forms and photographs of the solvers, and thus it was confirmed that their modus operandi was impersonation actually. Also, I come from a small place, and I know that like what kind of sacrifice children their parents make in the dream of a bright future. And each year, many deserving children go into depression or commit suicide just because of the corrupt practices, as you know, being followed actually. And as you know, like so many people threatened me during this, and government actually it's not actually government, High Court provided me security.
Sure, that's really concerning. Can you tell our viewers at home the enormity of the Vyapam scam? Because obviously it's centred around, is it the area you live? I mean, what levels of corruption in the MP government is this case reaching?
Actually, since last year, like Vyapam conducted like so many exams, like more than 56 exams they conducted in previous 10 years, and when you can say like more than 1 million students appeared in those exams. And when the exam came out in open, it was found that the family of chief ministers, his wife, and like Sadhana Singh, and ex-chief minister, governor, and top-notch secretary, IPS officers, and Vyapam officials, BJP politicians, RSS functionaries. RSS, like it's a body like that, gives BJP back support, and many others were involved. Until that, more than 2,500 have found to be accused, and more than 250 FIR actually registered, and more than 45 people who were either directly or indirectly involved in the scam died mysteriously. And you can say they not only used impersonation but various other methods to get their candidate passed in the examination. Example like PA of Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who is the chief minister, somehow he succeeded to get entered his daughter Anita Kumari in pre-medical test 2012. So like you can directly say chief minister office is directly involved in this scam. And you will be shocked to know that the corrupt officials of Vyapam used to replace the optical mark sheets, that is answer sheet, after the exam. And whatever has come out in public is just the tip of an iceberg. And if justice is done, BJP government in Madhya Pradesh will fall actually. And yes, it concerns examples. Recently, you can say numerous people lost their eyesight in Balwani district near Indore and Shivpuri. Every year, thousands of people die in India due to medical negligence. The point I am trying to make is that if such people get into the system, their first objective would be to get back their ill-gotten money back that they invested to get inside. Secondly, they will indulge in corrupt practices like they can do trafficking of organs, cut practices, that is commission, or illegal drug trial without consent. So these kind of you can say culprits, they can corrupt the whole medical system.
Yeah, Can you tell me a little bit about the death of Namrata Damor? She was a daughter of Mehtab Singh Damor. When the investigative journalist Ashke Singh was interviewing her father, I mean, that journalist also died under mysterious circumstances. It's crazy.
Yeah, Akshay Singh was a good friend of mine actually, and he came here on my invitation. And Akshay Singh is a talented reporter of Aaj Tak News channel, and you can say it's India Today group. And when the news of people dying mysteriously involved directly or indirectly in Vyapam Scam reached Delhi, Akshay Singh came to Madhya Pradesh to investigate the matter of Namrata Damor death case. And actually, Madhya Pradesh government said that like it was a suicide, but actually it was a murder. And her case is quite important not only for the particular scam, but another one known as sex for marks case. And you would be shocked to know that the female students who are beautiful, the university were deliberately failed so that they can be asked for sex by professor and then pass. So Namrata Damor too got her admission through Vyapam, and she actually failed in first year. So probably she's on the way to Jabalpur because on the way, her body near Ujjain station found by the police, and Namrata Damor may be used as a honey trap by this corrupt people. And Akshay Singh death was 1 minute, Eric. Actually, Akshay Singh death was fundamentally to case being relaunched in the public domain. As it was the first time when a person not involved in the scam died mysteriously. I'm a doctor, and with full confidence, as I inquired with the people surrounded, like that time surrounded Akshay Singh. So the frothing outside the mouth, and suddenly within few seconds he died. So I stated that like he was poisoned. And remember, this is a medical scam, and the beneficiaries, like they know toxicology science, and they know which kind of poison cannot detect in postmortem. So I would like to state that government withheld the investigation of his death actually.
Yeah, and that's also kind of takes me on to that's why you're under armed guard, because you're not just being a whistleblower in the Vyapam scam. It's also you're basically whistleblowing in a lot of the kind of illegal. Is it drug testing they're doing on kids? You know, in India, it's just terrible.
Yeah, actually, in 2005, like when I was a student of MGM Medical College, PG students, I found it like drug trial were going on there without proper informed consent. So I raised this issue also, and I brought this issue up to the Supreme Court, and this matter is also pending before the Supreme Court. And you can say that this is the billion-dollar industry here, and only because of me, this industry is just day by day fall down. And more than 4,000 people died during clinical trial without proper consent, and only poor were targeted. They were used as a guinea pig here.
Yeah. I'd like to talk about, following on from Mr. Singh, the journalist, when the Central Bureau of Investigation took over from the case from the police, obviously they've got a massive task in hand. The paperwork they've got is immense. I think it was like a truckload of paperwork. I mean, will the Central Bureau's revelations, result in any charges, or is it a lost cause, do you feel?
Actually, on July 9th, 2015, Honorable Supreme Court on my petition handed over this case to CBI. However, we have not seen any major impact. Rather, many influential people have been released on bail. The point to note is that the BJP is in power in the state as well as in the center, that is in Delhi. And look like both are working hand in hand, because like the same party ruling in the center and the state. This is quite discouraging and against the natural justice. The shocking this is that the media and news channels don't show the same enthusiasm as they show in other cases actually.
Yeah, I mean that's what KILTR is. We're a disruptive media platform. The mainstream media in Scotland is just as kind of biased, if you like. I've got another question for you. How central is Nitin Mahindra to the alleged racket? I mean, is he in jail still?
Yeah, he's in jail now, and his role is like many key. You can say the key role. Nitin Mahindra was a system analyst in Vyapam, in Professional Examination Board. Now they changed the name of Vyapam, and they now changed Vyapam to Professional Examination Board. And he, along with corrupt officials like Director and Controller Pankaj Trivedi and Sudhir Bhadoria, they used to manipulate the seating arrangement actually in the hall, exam hall. The candidate and solver were seated strategically so that the candidate can pass the examination successfully. Also, he used to manipulate the scanned optical mark reader seats. Example, the candidate attempted only 20 questions out of 200 questions, and rest of the questions were answered after the submission of OMR seat, or you can say after the exam. And these seats actually they used right to information to come out these seats, and after filling the blank you can say uh, blank circles, and they put these seats in control room. So somehow through this means they manipulate the results.
Sure. I'd also like to talk about a fellow whistleblower. I think maybe a friend of yours, Prashant Pandey.
Yes.
And the allegation that police actually doctored evidence to save the chief minister who you mentioned before. I mean, high up, how high up does this alleged corruption actually go towards the government?
Actually, Prashant Pandey used to work for Madhya Pradesh police and for so many enforcement agencies like ED and income tax and all. And he helped them to crack the IT-related cases. Like in 2015, he submitted the Excel sheet. Excel sheet, you can say he has some data from STF. STF is Special Task Force Police. So the STF actually submitted some manipulated data before the court. So the Prashant Pandey submitted the original Excel sheet before the court, and the official involved in the scam, you can say chief minister, governor, all the names written over there in that original Excel sheet. And CBI has sent the sheet to the forensic science lab Hyderabad, and the report is actually awaited.
That's great. Well, thank you for joining us today, Dr. Ray. That was fascinating.
Yeah, just to sum up, I would like to tell that the Vyapam scam is the deadliest scam, and I think like it's a scam in the history of Asia, like it's the largest scam. And the state government and the RSS, who is the mentor of BJP, are directly involved in this scam. And if justice is tomorrow, election would have to be conducted day after.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for joining us.